Okay, I'm going to be bringing you guys some Tennessee fishing tips out on the Little Rambler here, and I'm just going to be showing you what lures to use, where to fish, where the fish are, what times of day, depths, just certain little tips that'll help you fish these lakes and the streams. And I'll be bringing you various tips here and there. Today I'm going to start with just regular bass fishing and a couple regulations that you need to be aware of. Like, for instance, if you're fishing out on a lake like this here, this is considered a lake, you can fish with 3 hooks and you can use live bait. But for instance, up a creek, certain creeks like say Abrams Creek, you can only use a single hook and you cannot use live bait. You can fly fish up in the rapids if you have a trout stamp. Make sure you have the certain permits you need. You know, you can get a fishing license, but to fish trout with a fly fishing rod, you need a trout stamp. So we'll be bringing you a couple tips here in a minute, and I'll be bringing you more as many times as I can get out on the water here. Okay, what we're going to rig up today is pretty simple. Now, I'm a fan of braided line. Mono line's good if you're going to be casting a lot, but this rig really doesn't require you to cast long distances because you're going to be running along the shoreline. So what we're going to rig up is this right here, just a simple worm. Okay, this color right here, for some reason, works real well here. Alright, it's just like a burnt orange. If you can find something like that, the ones with the flat tails on it work well too. You're going to need a split shot. And these hooks here work well for rigging these up. I like circle hooks. I use them a lot in the ocean. You're actually required to use them in the ocean. But this hook here works real well for what we're going to do with this worm. Okay, now this is pretty simple. If you're ever using braided line, there's one knot you're going to learn. Okay, that's all you need to know is one knot. It's called the Palomar knot. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to make a bite in the line like this. You're going to grab your hook, okay? You're going to put that bite right through your hole there. Just like that. Okay, and then you're going to do a half hitch, like this. Okay, make sure your tag end doesn't flip through that through your half hitch. And then you're going to bring the loop that you made, that you're pulling through your half hitch right there, and you're going to bring your hook through that loop. Okay, I'm going to do it again because I'm kind of all over the place here. Okay, so we made a bite in our line, like this. We came through the hole on our hook. We did a simple half hitch, which is what most people call a knot. Okay, and that half hitch goes around your tag end and your standing line, which is right here. Okay, so you get all that smoothed out, bring this around, you make a simple half hitch. Do not pull it tight yet. Okay, take that loop that you pulled through that half hitch and you put your hook right through it. Okay, so I put my hook through that loop, not the half hitch loop, but the loop that I put to make my half hitch. And then you're going to pull on your tag and your standing end and tighten it all up. Okay, it's a simple knot and it will not come out. Okay, that's all you need to know with braided line. If you're going to attach anything, that is the knot you need to learn. It's called the Palomar. Alright, so then we're going to take and we're going to cut off our tag end here. I usually keep a multi-tool on me to take care of everything here. Okay, so we come over here. You want to cut your tag end pretty close, but not too close. So I'm going to come about right there. I'll cut that off. Okay. And be sure to bring garbage with you out here. We just bring a simple Walmart plastic bag and we throw all our garbage in that. You don't need this stuff floating around. I'm sure you've seen videos what this stuff can do. Okay, so now we're going to hook this worm up so it becomes snagless. We're going to do that by bringing this through the nose, right down through the center. We're not going to go too deep. Okay, I only want that much right there. We're going to push that in all the way. We're going to flip the worm on itself on the hook, and then we're going to bring this through only part way so the barb is not sticking out. Okay, do you see how I have that rig there? And what that does is allows you to bring this over the reeds and such. If you get in some reeds, some lily pads, whatever you're fishing in, because that's where the fish usually are, and you got to be able to fish some areas. So what this does is causes you to be able to go in there without getting snagged every time you cast. But you're still going to get snagged. It's going to happen. That means you're fishing. So hook it up like this, and once you get that, you're going to grab a split shot. Okay, go over to our multi-tool or pliers, whatever you got. Open up your split shot. Okay, now you don't want to go too close and you don't want to go too far. About right here is where you want to be. Okay, I'd say that's about maybe a foot, maybe a little over a foot up off that worm. Okay, you want to grab your pliers and you want to squeeze the split shot down or you'll lose it. Come over here and we'll pinch this off before I lose it here. Now we're ready to start fishing. Okay, simple rig. You will catch bass on this rig if you rig it up right. Time to fish. Now to find the right spot to catch bass, you need to be looking for a couple things. Now right in front of me, we got a big overhang of brush. A lot of brush in the water. There's a big log in the water right there. We got some shade here. That's where you're going to find largemouth. Okay, now smallmouth are going to be hanging out by rocky ledges. So if you find a bunch of rocks, boulders, cliff faces all along here, that's where you'll find smallmouth. This tree down here, providing shade, that's where your largemouth are going to be. Okay, now you can catch either one on this rig we got here, but you need to know where to look to find these fish. And you gotta go up and down the banks and find where they are, because they'll be there. You just gotta find which tree they're hanging under and start casting. You gotta work the shoreline. I'm gonna try to show you the action that you want to give this thing. Okay, you're gonna cast it, it's falling down. You're gonna give it a little jerk up. It's gonna look like a bird or something dropped a worm in the water. You don't want to be reeling it fast. You don't want to be jerking it a lot. You're just going to slowly reel it in, let it fall, give it a little raise up. Slowly let it fall, give it a little raise up. Okay, and that's what that split shot's going to do, is give you that action right there. And it's going to look like a dead worm floating in the water. Okay, so I'm going to cast up in our tree here. See, I don't have to cast far. Just going to get it up under there, let it sink. Give it a little raise. See, I'm slowly reeling. I'm just going to let that worm do the work. This isn't one of them lures that you reel really fast. You slowly want to work it. Now we need to keep working up and down this shoreline like this until we can find fish. They'll bite if they're biting. Now, it being so sunny out right now, the only spot to look is in this shady area. because when it's sunny like this, the fish go deep. They go to the cool water. The best time to fish is in the morning or at the evening, or if it's cloudy, kind of rainy, it's the best time to fish. That's when they're going to bite. So we have to improvise now because it's a little later in the day. It's kind of sunny out, and the water's kind of warm out here. So we want to come up in these shady areas where these trees are and look for some largemouth, and maybe find some areas with rocks and find some smallmouth. Little pockets like this, good place for bass and things to spawn. Got them reeds up in here like that. Some bulrush, some cattails, anything like that. You can see down here, if you can see the bottom, all them little spawn beds that they made in the springtime. Caught quite a few bass right here. Alright, there you have it. There's that same rig up that I showed you. Just the worm. Split shot. Got ourselves a largemouth right up under this tree right here. Just like I showed you, that's where the larges will hang out. Okay, we're going to get this hook out of him and let him go. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to cast up in there. Just that same motion I showed you. I casted, let it sit, raised it up, and he hit it. He nailed it.